Okay, still snow on the ground and some squirrel poop on top of the stones. And we've been here for just about 2 years. And I don't know, what do you say? Like the first 6 to 8 months, we had no tools here because we didn't quite know what we needed or what we were gonna do. We didn't really settle in right away. But I thought we would do an episode on 5 of our top tools, at least gardening tools, that have been absolutely indispensable. I will say the one that really takes the cake for, I think, us on a whole utilitarian perspective is our UTV. That was actually one of the first big equipment pieces or tools that we got, and that has been absolutely indispensable for us. I cannot tell you how many times we've used it. We didn't use it as much this winter, surprisingly, because it hasn't been that much snow. You could still see that there's snow on the ground, but not enough for us to like go out there and plow, which we do have a plow for it and we use it quite often. But we're constantly putting like mulch or wood chips in that. We pulled out thousands of multiflora rose and Japanese honeysuckle with it that had been invading the land. So we move our equipment, our tools everywhere from place to place. I mean, it's completely indispensable. But I would say some of the, top 5 tools, and you know, I'm not gonna cover like too many shovels or anything like that, but this one was recommended to us. It looks kind of funny, like one of those like big beach toys for an adult or something. They actually make a poly shovel too, which looks like an oversized, overgrown beach toy. This is by Leonard, and this was recommended to us right in the beginning because we only had like a couple shovels and we were using that to like move wood chips and mulch. And I would say like maybe a half a dozen of you said, get the big orange poly forks. This is amazing. As soon as we started to, I think it's called a mulching fork. So as soon as we started to use this for like mulch and wood chips, it was like 100 times easier. You could scoop way more. It's super lightweight. It's not like a heavy tool at all. You could run over this with the UTV. It doesn't crack. Don't hold me to that. But it's like one of those things that I think they even have a video of like somebody running it over with a car. I'm sure if you run it over in the wrong way, it might actually break a tine. But I would go to Leonard, check this out. I think I actually got this at Gempler's, which is like a US company that sells a lot of gardening tools. But number 1, absolutely indispensable. The second one is a shovel, but you could see that this is not a scooping shovel. This was actually maybe the 2nd or 3rd tool that I got. This is called King of Spades. You could see it's gotten a lot of wear and tear. I bought another one of these because you could actually like literally jump on it, but you could see that it's almost like a blade, and that's what it's used for. So this has been used a lot. You've actually used this a lot too for edging of beds. So you basically make an incision down into the grass. Let's use the snow, just like this, like straight down, perpendicular to the soil. And then you go in at like an angle, like, and you hit in like this, and you basically create this like divot in the grass where you cut all the grass roots, and that's how you edge a bed. And you just go in a little bit like that, and then you make this little triangle there. And that's how we've basically edged almost all of our beds. And this makes it really easy because it is a heavy shovel. So it's not one that you want to like truck around quite a lot, but it
cuts like a knife too. It's very sharp. It's still very sharp.
It's still very sharp.
It cuts through roots.
Yeah, it's heavy duty, and you know, it's rusting a little bit.
Especially if you keep it in the snow like that.
Well, the problem is we have not been kind to our tools. And at one point we need to be, I think it helps to be really organized. And when we first got here, like we were just using barns and places that we had. And I think once everything has its place and we have systems set in place, we're gonna have ways to like clean the tools better and put them away. I think that we have to be much more conscious about that because we're getting nice tools. like take care of them. That's what I feel like. And we have left tools out once in a while. Sometimes like you had your Sawzall and it came flying off your like UTV and we couldn't find it for like 6 months, and then we finally found it and we're like,
that thing is toasted.
yeah. So it just goes to show you, if you're a little bit more organized and you're a little bit more cognizant, and that's something that we should also take to heart. And you'll see some of our tools look like they're worn and torn, but I'll tell you what, like we should treat them better. I won't highlight this one yet. I'll highlight this one. Great example. You use this one a lot. I have no idea where that sheath is that you.
It's in there.
It is there? Okay, because I haven't seen it. This should be in its sheath. It's a very sharp tool. This is done by Felco. I love Felco. It's a Swiss brand. We actually visited their distribution center. It's actually here in upstate New York, which is super cool. They have some great tools. They're really known for their blades. This one, again, not as clean as I'd like it to be, but you could see that it looks like, has all these pointed teeth and everything. It's basically a pull pruning saw, I guess it would be called. The Felco has all these like numbers like 620, 603, that kind of stuff, so I don't know which one this is. But basically, when we got here, so many trees were, just had a winter injury. Actually, I just took a walk around because we didn't have heavy snow, but I walked around and I saw one of our pine trees has some winter injury. I'm gonna have to cut off one of the limbs, and this is perfect for that. And actually, Felco has some spray afterwards that if you get resin on your teeth, the teeth of the blade, you could actually wipe it off. Although this is a little harder because it has so many teeth on it, it's harder to wipe it off. So you have to kind of wipe pulling down. Anyway, this is perfect for those, I would say 2-inch, 3-inch wide branches, and you can make an incision down below and then make an incision up top and then cut as close to the trunk as possible. And we pruned a lot of trees that way. Then the next thing I would say is these, I guess these are called Loppers, and they have lots of different kinds of loppers. These are surprisingly like really easy to use. You don't need to use a lot of force unless you're actually trying to cut something that's much larger than it should.
Same with that other saw.
Yeah.
It's surprising how quick you can cut through things.
It's great. That was like one of your favorite tools for a long time.
Yeah, because it beats bringing a chainsaw for cutting really small stuff that you don't really.
Yeah, so we'd go into the forest, and you know how you have all those white pines and they're growing close together and they have all these dead branches on the bottom, and it's like boom, boom, boom. You could just like saw them right off really easily. It's lightweight. If you have it in that little sheath, you could attach it to your belt. It's pretty cool. It's pretty easy. So these loppers, again, Felco blades, very nice. We should be taking care of them a lot better, definitely. And but we've used these so much. I mean, I can't even tell you the thousands of times that I've actually used these, especially again because of the trees, or if you have like thick goldenrod stems, you just like go down there and you knock them out like a little bit here and there. So very helpful. And surprise, surprise, just nice, great bypass pruning shears. These are also Felco. I have probably 3 or 4 pruning shears, but you need that. You need that in the garden. And of course I could have like highlighted trowels and like scoop shovels and things like that. But to me, if I look at the things that I use the most, especially when cleaning the land and getting it to a place where it's actually workable, I would say if I had to select, these would be like my 5 to start over again, plus the UTV, because that was just so good. And you probably saw like other things that we've been using. Like we have this electronic wheelbarrow, which works perfectly fine on flat land, moving really heavy things, so you could put like stones on that and everything. But as soon as you get on a slope, that thing is turning over and you're turning over with it. So if you, I know a couple people asked about that. It's like the Makita electronic push wheelbarrow. And because we primarily use Makita electric tools here, we use the same batteries over and over again. I mean, you have some other brands that you need other.
Yeah, it's the wheelbarrow, the push mower.
The push. The push wheelbarrow. Yeah. Yeah.
The mower we have too, and that's more like a commercial one.
Yeah.
That cuts a little thicker grass than the normal one.
But it's still not great for, like, if you have a small postage stamp lawn.
Yeah.
It's good for that, but with the size of our lawn here,
it's good for detailed work, like paths.
That's right. Yeah, it's good for detailed works and along the edges of kind of swervy garden beds. We've definitely used that for, and finishing work. Yeah, so that's my choice. You know, maybe at some point I'll get Sonder to do his 5 favorite tools, but these are some of ours.